So what's wrong with you anyway? Why can't you get along with people? Why can't you be more agreeable? I'm Jerry Hancock. This is our little one-on-one discussion, and today I want to talk to you about individual counseling and maybe getting at the root of some of the issues that may be causing you problems in relationships, and maybe getting comments from people who say things like I just said. What's wrong with you, buddy? Can't you pull it together? I want you to think deeply about your own childhood and about your life in general and how you've come to be what you are today. Obviously, a lot of the qualities that you have are just admirable, wonderful qualities, and they make for great relationships and for great interactions with other people. But there's probably a few things in there that you didn't know you brought along with you, baggage we call them, things that are getting in the way of relationships, and maybe it's time for you to work on that. Maybe somebody's told you that you're too abrasive, you're too aggressive, you're too this, that, or the other. What are the things you need to work on? Maybe your wife has told you you speak to her in terms that are unpleasant. Maybe your children have said, I just don't want to have anything to do with you because you always end up criticizing me. Whatever. These are things we can change, we can fix, we can learn to improve ourselves. Let me tell you a little story. I had a conversation with a guy years ago, and he was talking about having problems with his 14-year-old. He said, I haven't had 10 words with her in the last couple of years because she just won't talk to me. And so we went through some exercises about how to listen and respond to people and not be judgmental and just pay attention to what they were saying or whatever. So he said he was going to try that night when he went home. So he came back to me the next day and he said, you're not going to believe this. We talked for 2 hours last night. And that's the kind of breakthroughs that can happen once we understand what our part in the equation is, what our part is in making relationships not work, what our part is in offending people or causing pain to others or not being empathic to the pain of others. This is stuff you can learn. I mean, just like you had to learn the stuff to do your job, you can learn this too. And it's not impossible, it's not difficult, but it does require you to focus on paying attention to personal things that may not be comfortable for you. You may be used to doing things that are more action-oriented or whatever. And what I'm asking you to do is do a little soul searching. Look deep inside yourself, be honest with yourself, and be willing to own up and confess that maybe some of the things you've been doing, some of the behaviors you brought along with you throughout your life are not working. They're just interfering with relationships. And maybe you've gotten feedback at work. I do a lot of 360 surveys for managers, and it's really it's really something when they finally realize that their peers see them in a very different way than they see themselves, and that they need to have a second look at themselves and get deeper and understand that behaviors they weren't even aware of are causing problems in the way they manage, the way they run relationships or whatever. So if it's true in business and it's costing business money and they're willing to pay some money to get it fixed, then it ought to be something you're willing to spend money on and get fixed just for the personal value of it. And the cost of not doing this is really important. I've known people who wind up alcoholics or in divorce court or whatever, just because they wouldn't let go of some really horrible behaviors that alienated them from the folks that supposedly they love and care about. So if that's the case, why can't we take a look at those behaviors, listen to the feedback of others, take it to the bank, do something with it, make ourselves better as human beings, and become the kind of person that makes people want to be around us and enjoy our company. There's so much to be gained, and I'm going to encourage you to do that. There's a lot of detail about this on the website, meninbalance.org. There's information on the radio station, meninbalance.org/radio, and there's more YouTube videos too. And I might ask you too, if you like this, write me a comment down below and tell me why you either agree or disagree with what I'm saying, and whether you're willing to take a hard look at yourself and do things differently. Maybe you can convince me that I'm all wrong and that the relationships aren't important. I'd like to know that. Anyway, thanks for your time. I'll enjoy these one-on-one conversations, and maybe we can have some more. I'm Jerry Hancock from Men in Balance.